I would like to talk about why I believe in the Bible. Why I believe that Bible is the Word of God. First of all, if I ask you, can you prove to me that there was a civil war in America? How are you gonna prove it? There is no witnesses. There's only evidences. So the only proof that you can make is basing on evidences. So if the evidence is reliable, it will be inclining to believe it. And if the evidence is not reliable, then most likely someone will not believe it, that there was a war, civil war in America. Same thing in the Bible, with the Bible. There is no witnesses anymore who saw God talking to Moses or God talking to John in New Testament. No, there's only evidences. So if there's enough evidences, then we can rely on them and believe it. And so when you have some kind of religion in a world, the good question is to ask what foundations of these religions are proving that they are based on the truth. Because only God, the creator of this world, is the one who knows all the truth. Because he created this world. He created every single detail, so he knows every single truth about this world. That means God is truth. There is no lie in God. He is truth. Man, on the other hand, is a creature, and man has only very, very small fraction of the whole truth that belongs to God. So if man comes up with some kind of idea, or if man goes by his feelings, then chances are pretty big that the idea that man will come up with will be tinted with untruth, which results in lie. So untruth is a lie. So if man comes up with some religion that is based on not truth, you can bet that is based on lie. There's only one religion that is based on the truth and only truth. That is a religion that comes directly from the Creator. And this religion is provided to us, for us, in the Holy Scriptures. How do I know the Holy Scriptures is directly from God? By God's providence, by God's inspiration, man wrote the Bible. Same way like we write a letter to somebody using pen. We don't say pen wrote the letter, we say we wrote the letter using pen. Same thing, God wrote the Bible using prophets to do this. So how do we know that the Word of God comes from God? We have to look into evidences. And the evidences are overwhelming. There is no other document in the world that would be backed up by so many manuscripts that is with the Bible. There's over 5,000 1,000 of the whole manuscripts or portions of manuscripts that combine in a whole Bible. And there are some manuscripts that are duplicates, and they are proving that there was no changes made, that that everything is there constantly repeated from the very get-go. So how do I know that those evidences are pointing to God, to His inspiration from Him? First of all, because we have so many manuscripts. There's no other document in the world that would be even close. I don't think there's any document that would have more than 100 or maybe 200 manuscripts that will be backing up this document. Only Bible has over 5,000. Now, the whole Bible claims that this is Word of God. First of all, there are places in Bible, for example, like in Psalm 15 verse 7, or Psalm 119, or Psalm 111. You can find that Bible itself speak of itself that it comes from God and is truth. But let's get to the history of the Bible. Bible was written within approximately 1,500 years. So 1,500 years, 1,500 years, started somewhere, 1,500 years before Christ, and ended right after Christ, in the 1st century after Christ. We have completed manuscripts from that era. And so imagine this, there is 1,500 years and over 40 authors of certain books. There are 66 books in the Bible, 39 of Old and 29 of New Testament, and there is over 40 authors that wrote those books. So chances are that they met together very slim, except for the New Testament. There's most of them they met, but the Old Testament, they pretty much their life overlapped. So here it is, and all those people who wrote the Bible, they were people of all kinds of walks of life. They were kings, they were shepherds, they were all kind of doctor and all kind of different fields that they came from, and they were able to put together one whole, poetically on the highest level piece that is complete, that has one major story and has no contradiction, is from the beginning to the end explaining the story that is the main core of it. And this book is pretty much in two parts. The first part, the Old Testament, is speaking of what is going to happen, which is predicting what is going to happen. And the second part, the New Testament, is recording what did happen. And everything is completely in harmony. There's no contradiction. Everything is harmonized. Everything is backing up each other and points to the whole poetic piece, right? Now, so this itself doesn't come from human. It is impossible for so many people for so long write in such a harmony and not being inspired by God. But besides that, we have the so many hundreds of historical facts backed up by archaeology. Archaeology backs up the historical facts that are mentioned in the Bible and only proving them to be true. So all kind of names, all kind of places named in the Bible, events happening in the Bible, they are backed up by archaeology. So this is something we cannot go over with not paying attention to it. Another thing is there is so many historical, scientific facts in the Bible. Things like springs under the ocean, on the ocean floor, mountains in the ocean, hydraulics of the circulating water, the rains and water evaporating, and this is all in the Bible explained, and it is impossible for those people who wrote those books to know it, because we only recently are able to, by science, to prove it right. We find out what already Bible told us a couple thousand years ago. Then there's a whole bunch of miracles that were happening in the Bible, and there were many witnesses of those miracles that saw them, and they are all described in the Bible. So that's another thing that is not nothing that we can just look over that and not pay attention to it. Another thing that is actually got to me so deeply that actually I made my final decision about trusting the Bible is the prophecies. We have so many, we have hundreds of prophecies in the Bible that, of course, there are some prophecies that are in the future, but those prophecies that already happened, they happen in 100% accuracy. And they were, of course, happening after those prophecies were written. So there is another very interesting point regarding prophecies. There is a book of Isaiah in the Bible, and that book, the 53rd chapter of the book of Isaiah, it is unbelievably accurate prophecy of the life of incarnate Christ and his death on the cross. And this Bible is, this prophecy of the 53rd chapter of Isaiah is just is so in sync with the four Gospels of the Bible, the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. is so in sync that many people even called the Isaiah 53 a fifth gospel, because it's pretty much repeating what the gospels say, except it happened 700 years before Christ. So these prophecies were actually the key moment when I realized those prophecies being so accurate that I actually decided to trust the Bible, because if this is not by the hand of God, then I have no explanation. How is it possible that so many things are happening in 100% of accuracy? So this is the reason I believe the gospel. I mean, I believe the Bible. Many people say, how do we know that this is what the proof? Here it is. Those are the proofs. There is no proof by witness. There is only proof by evidence. So I think this is plenty enough evidences to trust the Bible than, for example, trust Quran, which is actually written. Quran is written mimicking Bible, mimicking New Testament, and it's written 600 years after the Bible. So the Muhammad was already knew the Bible. So when he wrote, there's a lot of portions of the Bible that are twisted in Quran, but that's because he knew the Bible. So how can you trust Quran, right? Or other religions, other books of different religions, since they are made by man. They are made by man's imagination, based on not fully truth, which is based on portion lie. So I trust the Bible, and here's my explanation why. Thank you.